Hello and welcome to the Collapse Experiment. Got an interesting article for you today. The name of the website cracks me up. So technically it's LitHub. However, at the very top of the page, it's called The Hub. And you know what that's usually referring to. But this is news, notes, and talk. The article itself is pertaining to the new Conduit books plans to focus on male authors as a corrective to the literary landscape. Weird. Are you saying that all these female authors that keep getting signed and published all over the place and their books are just littering every freaking library all over the country, not working out so well? So this article is by James Folta from April 28th, so 2 days ago. A new press will be focusing initially on publishing male writers. Who knew that having a dick would finally come to an advantage? Reported the bookseller today. Finally, a space for guys to be guys. The press is called Conduit Books and will be run by novelist and critic Jude Cook. Jude. There's a lot of information on their website. They're still looking for submissions for their first books, apparently, but their About page features the definition of conduit, kind of like a best man speech that opens with Webster's Dictionary defines good dude as. Cook spoke with the bookseller about the project and was very careful in his wording about their focus. As you have to be these days, he stressed the indie press doesn't seek an adversarial stance, but wants to add a space for male authors to flourish. His read on the publishing climate is that male voices are perceived as problematic and is often overlooked. No, he's 100% correct on that. Cook concedes that there existed an occasionally toxic male-dominated literary scene of the 1980s, 90s, and not ties? What the hell are the not ties? Is that like early 2000s? The knots? But that since the literary fiction of women has dominated and Conduit's entry into the market as a champion of men's is only right as a timely corrective. Finally, thank you. Maybe I'll submit something. It's hard to quantify the toxicity of previous literary scenes relative to today. J.K. Rowling being the richest author in the world and using that wealth to attack the vulnerable doesn't give me much hope that we've learned much. Who is she attacking? I'm on J.K. Rowling's side on this, okay? She's constantly being shit on and criticized for not going along with everybody else's bullshit. Are you serious? Why are they not giving the same bullshit to Stephen King, who apparently has just lost his goddamn mind? Way too much cocaine back in the 80s, Stephen. But there is some data on the gender breakdown of authors. The National Bureau of Economic Research published a study 2 years ago and found that the share of published books by female authors and the share of book spending on female-authored books has risen in tandem. No kidding. According to Goodreads, book stats, and copyright data, NBEC found the female-authored books have risen from around 20% of publications in 1960 to around 50% by 2020. I think it's higher than that. Seriously, I think it's higher than 50%. At least. So with me working at the library, I can tell you that the majority, well over 50% of the books that are actually ordered by libraries, where of course the majority of the staff, there's three guys that work at the library. And that's including the branches as well. So we've got 3 dudes out of all the staff. So now you've got the majority of staff who are ordering books are women. And what are women going to order? Female authors that they connect with. Even though half of the people, half of the population that they're serving as a library is men. An analysis of the New York Times bestseller data on the pudding came to about the same conclusion in beautiful charts. Authors hitting the bestseller list are approaching gender equality for the first time. And how many of these have won Pulitzers? It's a good question. Their research connect the rise of women authors to shifts in genre and the composition of MFA programs, which is interesting. So the data seems to back up Cook. Female authorship is on the rise, especially recently. But to conclude that men therefore need an urgent champion seems naive and nearsighted. Oh, get bent. Seriously? To look at this trend, or perhaps more accurately, to feel the vibes and conclude that male authors are in danger is pushing it. You know, there's only so many times that a straight white male can hear that they're not being oppressed while they're constantly turned down for jobs. We don't get financial help with going to college. We are constantly just left to the wayside. We're not even allowed in fucking medical schools anymore. Although Asians are now kicked out of medical, not even kicked out, not allowed in medical school programs because too many of them qualify. And of course, they're white adjacent. So yeah, there's all these, like, what the fuck are we allowed to do is the good question. What is it acceptable for a straight white man to do other than be the leading number in the rate of suicides in the country and being put in prison? Like, what else is acceptable for society from us? Because you don't like it that we keep the fucking lights on, that we pick up your trash when you put it out on the curb, that we protect you at night as police officers. You tax the shit out of us in order to pay for programs for, I don't know, single moms who apparently don't know what the fuck marriage and a household is. I can just be a mom all by myself. And you bitch about the men that you're meeting who probably came from single mother households, who don't know how to raise men. And now you're having to deal with it 1-2 generations down the road. But to get back to the fucking article, male authors going from 80% to 50% of the market is far from a crisis in need of a timely corrective. Maybe if the other 50% were writing books that other people wanted to read. I want to imagine that Conduit is acting in good faith and wanting to publish the books you want to read is the prerogative of any publisher. Is it? Is it really? Because a lot of these books are just pushing a fucking agenda. And we're tired of it. But to frame their project as a corrective makes this whole thing seem downstream of a particular political agenda or media diet. Okay, this is just, again, more people who are ignoring what the fuck is going on. Because, I'm sorry, how many people watched episode 3 of The Last of Us season 2? You kill the main character, the hero of the first season, in the second episode. Apparently they weren't paying attention to The Walking Dead and how numbers drastically dropped once they killed Glenn. You killed Glenn on the second episode of season 2, and you're wondering what's going on. Here they're complaining. It's got to be an agenda. It's got, I mean, this guy's got to be totally MAGA. No, we're just tired of just having nothing good to read on the shelves because these are the only people who are getting pushed. Yeah, 50% of books being the numbers of books being published, 50% of them may be male, right? I mean, if we're taking their numbers here and we're saying 50% female, 50% male, I guarantee you the majority of sales and where your money is going is towards female authors. And the guys, they're not getting the sales, they're not getting the advertising, they're not getting shelf space. It's not happening. We're all smart people here. No, you're not. Whoever wrote this, you're not a smart person. I'm sorry, but you are ignoring the overall issue that is happening here. And I think that Cook has to have a sense of how an announcement of male books are back is going to be read by the wider public. I'm ecstatic. I am happy to see this. After this, I'm going to this guy's publisher website to find out more because I've got how many books on the shelf? So yeah, I will be checking this out. Even with the best of intentions, you have to know who's going to be cheering a project like that. Okay, dude did not edit this. You have to know who is going to be cheer a project like that. That is how it's stated here. And why? Okay, there should be a comma here. Who starts a sentence with "and"? It's a continuation of a previous thought, not a whole new sentence. What the fuck? And to still be so explicit about this being guys only, just for now, I know, makes me think that you've got a political agenda or a fetish for being, quote, tweeted. Okay, this guy's just being an asshole at this point. I know it's hard to feel like something has been taken away from you. Because it has. You don't go and pick my pocket and then complain when I start talking about there's pickpockets in the group. What the hell? Or that you can't do the work you want to do. But part of being, and again, there should be a comma here, but part of being creative is being sensitive to the world around you. No, because the world around you does not like you. Okay, the world around us, and again, straight white males, fucking hates us. Okay? Does not like us, does not appreciate us. And it's not until the fucking lights go out and the water stops flowing out of the faucet that anybody's going to give a shit. And to the audiences you're creating for. Okay, we're not creating for those people. Let's be frank here, okay? No, we're not expecting these people to buy our books. We're expecting other men to probably buy our books. Starting a sentence again with "and," because brilliant, awesome writing here. And if you're a publisher who is unable to take a longer view of publishing trends, oh my God, really? Longer view. And unable to guess why the percentage of women authors is rising in the last 15 years. It's because that's who they are deciding to sign. That is why. Then I don't trust your taste. Oh my God. And of course, the taglines at the bottom. Conduit Books. Gender. What about this has anything to do with gender? I'm pretty sure this is talking about the sex of the author. Gender. Are there any mention of 72 genders in this article? Nope. Men. Okay, and then publishing. Nothing about gender. Seriously. What about the trans authors, huh? What about them? Why are you leaving them out, you piece of shit? Oh my God. No, I'm going, Jude Cook. I will be looking this dude up. I want to know more about what he's doing, what he's planning. Perhaps I'll have something to send to him. I don't know. But this article, Literary Hub, it's basically the hub for those people. Jesus Christ. Well, if you're a dude out there and you are writing a book, or you have written a book that you might think could be published someday, I would check this Conduit publishing out. Conduit Books. I mean, where could you go wrong? They just, what, say no, and then you put it on Amazon. You get to know, you just put it on Amazon. That's all there is to it. Let the readers decide. Keep on typing.